Our clients keep asking, how do I make the change stick? How do I do this in a way that builds capability in my organisation? How can our people be more nimble and adaptive to change? They're starting to recognise that good change management is a key enabler of competitive advantage. Whilst there are lots of models out there, what is important is how you apply it. Baringa's approach to making change stick focuses on the key things that are critical to get right. Strong leadership and business engagement, a rigorous approach to understanding change impacts and planning business readiness, getting stakeholders to adopt the change, and embedding a continuous improvement and change capability. The key to making change stick is to have leaders that are personally motivated to make the change happen and are motivated to bring their teams along with them. Get your leadership team aligned around a common vision and strategy and help them to articulate it in a compelling story that can be communicated in a way that's inspiring but also meaningful to individuals. Recognise that what you measure drives behaviour. Align incentives and objectives. It's also really important that leaders drive the right behaviours and walk the talk. The business must be engaged throughout the program. Involve them from the very start, starting with the high-level design and requirements. People don't mind if it's going to be difficult for a while, just don't paint it as something that it isn't. Timing is key and the messaging must be authentic. People will lose trust if you say they're going to get a Rolls Royce when in reality it's an old banger with lots of issues. And finally, focus on people managers. Equip them with the information, the tools and the skills to lead their teams on the ground through the change. There's a science to managing change impacts well. Simply put, change impacts are about understanding all the things that you need to change, understanding their dependencies and prioritising them. At Baringa, we've had huge success in manually trialling the solution early before you sign up to an expensive and multi-year design and build program. Paper-based exercises and testing have their place, but really there's no substitute for early trialling with real customers on the ground. Trials are a great way to test the design and to learn what works and what doesn't. Importantly, it generates success stories which prove the business case and also build momentum. Good business readiness and transition planning is about organising the change so that it can be implemented in the business. At times, this involves challenging conversations with delivery teams in order to implement the change in an order that makes sense. Your business needs to be ready to embrace the change. The use of piloting, go-live governance, checklists and scenario planning are the sorts of useful business readiness tools we use. Getting buy-in and adoption are critical to making the change stick. People need to own the change, understand why it's important, and also need to be equipped with the tools to make it happen. How often have you seen programs that need people to change but don't give them training, the coaching, the tools and the time to learn and apply it? This is what happens when people view change management as simply a bit of training and comms. There are two things to get right here. Number one, building capability. This is about developing people and training them so that they have the skills and resources to be effective. Specifically understanding what skills and capabilities are required and defining a clear plan to fill any gaps. To be effective, training needs to be role-based and place equal emphasis on desired behaviours as well as providing the skills and the tools. Number two, involve your stakeholders in designing their new ways of working. This is about agreeing behavioural and performance expectations, agreeing handoffs and interactions between teams, but also getting a really clear connection between leadership, line managers and individuals on the ground. Change is far more likely to be adopted when change management competencies are infused in your organisational DNA. The ongoing benefits of a change program are really reaped when continuous improvement and change capability are embedded. Companies that get this right put their best people forward to develop business change and readiness skills on the job. They also embed a culture of continuous improvement where individuals feel like they're empowered and incentivised to suggest and make improvements. Embedding a can-do mindset and the desire to improve processes in a quick and agile way won't happen on its own. It requires really strong sponsorship, performance metrics and incentives to be aligned. So to wrap up, when people ask you, how do I make change stick? You can tell them there are 4 key ingredients to think about: leadership and engagement, change impacts and business readiness, stakeholder adoption and training, change capability and continuous improvement.